Yes, good afternoon, you beautiful people. It is literally bang on 4 p.m. on, what day is it? Thursday, the 1st. Thursday, the 1st of August. Producer Petch and I are back. If you do not know us, my name is Ross. This is Producer Petch. Together we run Act On This.tv. If you're an actor, you want to work on TV, you want to earn money from your career rather than just, sitting there with no opportunity, struggling. If you really want to earn out of your career and learn about the business of the business, come over to Act On This.tv. Get your membership after this. We sit down every week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. And we also go live multiple times a week on YouTube here and on X and on LinkedIn and on Instagram. But Petch, we've not been live for probably 10 days or so now because we've been doing so much stuff behind the scenes. But good to be back, mate. How are you?
I'm great, yeah. When we got into the waiting room of this, I was like, what's all this do again?
What are we doing?
A bit weird,
How do we go live? So we will be trying to go live a lot more on all of these platforms, folks, in the afternoon again, Monday to Friday. Normally we do it like 3 times a week. So do subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Give us a like and all that sort of stuff. And you'll be notified every time we do go live. We've got loads to discuss in the next hour, Petch. We'll probably go live till 5 o'clock now. We're going to do like an open Q&A, folks, basically. Anything that you guys need help with in your acting career, literally, we are here for it. This is like an Ask Us Anything kind of session. We thought we'd do that. It's quite a general
Within
session
reason.
Just to get us... Yeah. Yeah, we're here to help you with your acting career. In particular, you can ask us anything about acting, the industry, anything we can help you with. Nothing too crazy. As people are getting the questions in, put them in the comments wherever you are. We're going to bring them up on screen. If you're on YouTube, particularly, we can bring your comments up. If you're on LinkedIn, I think we can bring your comments up as well. We will be reading everyone's comments on Instagram as well. But we've got a few things because we've not been live for a bit, Paige. We've got a few things to fill people in on, particularly something that's happening this weekend that I want everybody to get involved in. So while you're putting your questions in, let's just kind of talk about this. I'll share my screen because this is something we would love everybody to get involved in. There's already, I think, about 650 people signed up for this. This is something that we are doing on Saturday morning, this coming Saturday, the 3rd of August. This is taking place on Zoom at 10 a.m. till, I put there 11:30, but sometimes we go live a little bit longer, sometimes sort of like till 12ish. We've got a habit of been able to speak for quite a long time.
Who's got a habit of speaking for a long time?
I have definitely. Petch reins me in, but yeah, we're going to give as much value away on this training as possible. This is for anybody who is looking for their first TV role, or for anyone who's got anything under 5 TV roles. Okay, the strategies that we're going to go through on this call are the strategies that I have used myself to land 35 TV roles. We're getting on for 40 TV roles now in really good TV shows, top TV comedy, top TV drama. We have taken dozens of actors through these strategies and they have got their first TV roles. Petch was one of them. Petch came to me, how many years ago, Petch?
Well, I started working for you in 2017. I was one of the first iterations on the court. In fact, I was the first. Yeah,
so probably like 20-ish or something like that. Probably 4 years ago. I was setting up a training to take people through to help them land their first TV role, and Petch came along and went, "Oh yeah, well it's just he was struggling a bit. It's like it's not going to work for me." And then lo and behold, he got a job on Coronation Street. It worked for him. Then we both got a job together on BBC Three's Wreck that went out earlier this year. And Petch has got 2 self-tapes today. So you could end up with job 3 and job number 4 after this week, Petch. Talking about tapes, we'll go over that. We'll go over that in a minute. I want to get some advice from you on prepping for tapes because I think people will want to hear about that. But yeah, if you go over, folks, to actonthis.tv/training. We've got no comments for us to put it in, have we really? But yeah, I can put it in the YouTube chat actually. But yeah, actonthis.tv/training. All you need to do is fill this form in. Basically, it's completely free. This drop your name in, drop your email address in, and it'll send you your Zoom link literally instantly. Keep that Zoom link safe. Now there is a little caveat here. My Zoom account can only hold only hold 500 people. Not because I'm cheap, just because Zoom's quite expensive. At least I'm not on that. Yeah, but I'm not on that free plan where it's like you get 40 minutes for free on Zoom and then you get kicked off. I do pay a lot of money to have 500 people on Zoom, but yeah, it's a 500 place limit. There's currently about 650 people registered. Now, I'm letting more people register than there are places because I know not everyone's going to turn up. It's a Saturday morning. People go out on Friday night and get drunk and they might not turn up on Saturday morning. So it probably will get packed out. But not everyone who's registered is going to turn up. If you want to get on the call and guarantee your place in it, I suggest you just jump into the Zoom room at like 9:45. Just sit in the waiting room for a bit. At least, you know, you're going to be on the call. You're not going to get locked out because when it hits 500, it won't let anybody else in until someone drops off. So if we end up with 800 people registered, chances are throughout the training we'll hit that 500 limit, but just get in early and you'll be fine. If you get in at like 9:45, you should be okay. So that's actonthis.tv/training. You just talk for a second, Petch, while I write it here on my laptop for people who are on YouTube. Give us some tips on fitting self-tape preparation in around work, because we've been like mega busy doing this training, getting everything ready for Saturday. And auditions are like buses. You get not only one self-tape yesterday for a big ITV drama, we won't mention the name of it, I'm not going to give any more away, and another tape that came in about an hour after that. And you're dead busy, you got work. A lot of people will be like, they complain, like, oh, I don't have time for this, don't have time for that. As an actor, you've got to freaking make time for what it is you want. How are you prepping for these two tapes? Because you said you have prepped. I think you watched 4 hours worth of Act On This content to prep for these tapes. Let people know how you did it and why there can be no excuses.
It's very much that thing of what you were saying there. Is if you want it, you will find a way. If you don't want it, you will find an excuse. And I'm not saying that life doesn't happen sometimes. Life does happen.
I'm still here, by the way.
You have got to be flexible with certain things. So when these two self-tapes came in, I was in the middle of doing a massive edit for Act On This yesterday, because we had the call, which was Act On This Answers, which is very similar to this, where we get our members to come on and ask me and Ross questions, and we help with any career advice that we can at that point. But we like to put the what we call a mashup. It's like a trailer of the call out on the website and out on social media. So that was my job yesterday, doing that, which is a hefty job. Yeah. Not only do you have to go through the whole call again and get like various bits of sound bites and stuff like that, but we have to edit it together and then subtitle it, and there's a lot that goes into that. So when
I'll play it out in a minute. I'll show people your work. Yeah.
So when these self tapes came in, like the first thing that I don't know, there's that old saying, isn't there? Like, how do you make an actor angry? Give him a job or give him an audition.
They complain about it all the time. When we get one, we're like, oh God, now I've got to do this. But chill out.
I was super grateful for him. But the one for ITV, like you said, is a big one. It's for a really big casting director as well. And, you know, I feel like that's going to up my game now in the industry. I'm seeing for these kind of roles now, which is exciting. And then the other one is for a commercial that's really near and dear to my heart as well. So I want to give everything to that as well. So there's 2 scripts. One of them was a monologue that I had to learn. And it's just a case of like just taking a step back. And it's what I say to you daily, and you say to me daily as well. It's like, let's just do this one step at a time. Just one thing at a time. So what I did is for the duologue, for the scene that I have to do, there's 3 people in the scene, is I use Line Learner on my phone.
Brilliant Great app. Really good app.
Absolutely fantastic. And I recorded all 3 parts in. And the brilliant thing about Line Learner is when it's the other 2 characters, one's a male, one's a female, I can change the pitch of the voice. So it's not just my voice back at me. So one of them's a high pitched voice. So I know that's the woman speaking. The one is a lower pitched voice than myself. So I know that's the other guy speaking. And I went on a walk. I do this thing with Ross where we challenge each other to get 10,000 steps in a day.
Minimum.
I'm on like 500 days now, because I don't count that day that didn't count because I was in Mexico.
Oh yeah. I broke my streak because I dropped my 328-day streak because I forgot to do 20 steps on the way back from a kitchen. I thought I only got 20 steps to do, and it just broke my 328-day streak. Petch's streak got broken because he went on his honeymoon in Mexico, and the time difference, although he'd done the steps, the time difference said no, you haven't done the steps when he got back into the UK. So we're letting him off on that.
So yeah, I went out and all I did was just listen to the scene over and over again, listen to it with my lines, listen to it without my lines, and then putting my lines in and just running bits where I was slipping up over and things like that. So by the time I'd done my 4-mile walk, I'm pretty nailed on with the lines.
Yeah.
It's also good as well because I know Rob James Collier does this, and you said you did this on that webinar with Rob James Collier, where you do other things as well as your lines so that it just goes in. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're not thinking about them. So I did that. And then I came back and I learned the monologue for my other speech. And yeah, we had 2 brilliant sessions with David Crowley, who's the on-set acting coach and director of Hollyoaks. And he's done 2 amazing sessions with us about preparation for auditions. And I know these are for like screen tests and in the room auditions, but the techniques still apply for self.
Oh yeah, it's script work, isn't it? Ultimately, yeah,
it is absolutely fantastic. So I watched those 2, one last night, one this morning after work and before work. It's just finding time. It's doing things in the time where you're doing something else. If that makes sense, you've got a word for it. What? How do you call that?
Net time. No extra time. Net, basically no extra time. NET, no extra time. So it's where it's multitasking, isn't it? It's kind of like, right, whilst I, like you say, I'm getting my steps in, which I have to do, I want to commit to my physical health, I will listen to the audio, the script, because I've recorded it on Line Learner. This is Line Learner, folks, by the way. Watch us put this up. You can get it for your iPhone or for Android as well. I think there's a free version and then there's a paid for version, which isn't very expensive. It's like $3.99, you can see there. But it's great. You can record your entire scenes into it. And I learn through listening. I get headphones in, like you said there, and I walk and I embody the lines as I'm walking with it. I think if you sit down and you try and learn lines still, they don't really go in. So as you said, do other things, wash the pots, listen to it while you're in the gym, while you're doing a set. If you can do other things and use your brain to move physically around the space while still saying your lines, you've really got them in your head. Then they are there. You're not relying on just picturing, where those lines were on the page in your head as you're doing the audition. You really know those lines. So that's Line Learner.
Call it action, don't they, at the start of a take? Because
call it what, mate? I missed that.
Action at the start of a take, because action needs to take place. It's not just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, say your lines. Well, sometimes I say your lines and don't move. But if you can do all the stuff. So that was Line Learner. I'll bring up. I'll share Act On This and just show you folks. For those people who are new, I'll show you those sessions that Petch was mentioning there. Let's just go back over to the site.
What you can see, I've made loads of notes on this audition, like pages.
He's got all of his notes there. Let me go over to the preview section here. actonthis.tv. Hit preview, folks. Don't forget to go get your place on that training. That's just actonthis.tv/training. If you search in here for Crowley, if you're not a member, you can still look at some of the previews. There's 2 sessions that we did. It's called Nailing Your Audition Prep, Part 1 and Part 2. And this is David Crowley, who's Hollyoaks' on-set acting coach. He's helped actors, win, soap awards and stuff, like acting awards, because he's very good at coaching actors. He's now a director on set as well. And that was the first session that we did with him. And on these sessions, we break down scripts, actual audition scripts that, have been Hollyoaks screen test scripts and stuff like that. And we bring people on camera and get them. Oh, that was Part 1 I already showed. Part 2 is here. And we get people to... literally on this session,
constantly.
Let's see if I can show you. There, he's talking about power types and stuff, isn't he? When did we bring? So there's the script. So you can see we've got people on the Zoom session. These are members of Act On This. We're running through the script. They're acting. David's giving direction. We're walking through, how to implement all the strategies and stuff that he's talking about on this session. They're invaluable. They're in the members area for you. If you're a member of Act On This, you haven't seen them, go watch those. If you're not a member, get a membership, get access to this sort of this sort of content every week. Literally every week we have a new guest on. So then you shot the monologue for the commercial last night. Me and you were going to do the duologue for the ITV drama tonight. How prepped are you feeling, Petch? You ready?
Very prepped. Honestly, I think I've done more prep on this than I have done in my entire life. So think like what I like about this now is, regardless of whether I get the job or not, I know that I've done literally everything in my power to get the job. Like, everything else now is completely out of my control. We always say on Act On This is control the controllables. Focus on your output, not your outcome. My output has been like super productive on this. So I know going into this, win or lose, I've done my best. And if I don't get it, then, so be it. Someone's either more talented than I am, or usually it comes down to looks. Like, I'm this is a family kind of thing, so maybe I don't look right for the family. So, and that's completely out of my control.
Family man role. Petch is the family man. We've got to get you the gig. So yeah, Petch is going to come around to mine tonight. We'll set up our self-tape kit and get going. If you want to know what kit we use, by the way, for self-tapes, folks, if you go to actonthis.tv/self-tape, you can download a kit list of the stuff that me and Petch have tested, and we shoot all of our tapes on now. It's inexpensive, but it's really good quality stuff, and will make your tapes pop. It'll make them look really, really good. So what I'll do, you talked about that mashup before. I'm going to play out what people might have missed this week, the session that we held for Act On This Answers, or should I play Paul Harper's mashup out, which was he's an agent from Keddy Scott, senior agent at Keddy Scott. He was the week before. Let's play Paul's out, and then while we're playing this out, folks, get your questions in. Any questions you've got on your career, any sort of hurdles that you're struggling to get over, any blocks that you're just like, I'm getting frustrated with this, I just can't seem to achieve this no matter what I do. We're here for it. We'll either be able to show you Act On This sessions that will help. If you get a membership, we'll show you some sessions that we know will help you move forward, or we'll just try and give you the answers for free on this session now. I'll take the graphics off the screen for a second. And yeah, Paul Harper, anyone looking for an agent, we had Paul Harper, senior agent at Keddy Scott Associates, great agency with offices in Scotland, Manchester and London, reps some great names, working at top of TV, film and theatre, musical theatre as well, actually. We don't normally have agents on that deal with that. We focus on TV, but yeah, Keddy Scott cover all bases. You should go and watch this session if you're not already. 2.5 hours, ultimately, of how to sign with great agents, basically. So this Keddy Scott in particular, but I'll take us off the screen, Petch, if I remember how to do that. It's been so long. We've been live. I'll play this out, and then yeah, get your questions in on whatever platform you're on. Get your questions in, and we will try and help you guys as much as we can. This is just a 2-minute clip of what you missed. Making his Act On This debut, please welcome senior agent at leading acting agency Keddy Scott Associates, Mr. Paul Harper. The goal for this session, everybody, is to dive deep into Keddy Scott Associates and learn the very best way to approach them for representation.
Fiona's a senior talent agent and managing director, so Fee founded Keddy Scott. I'm a director of the company with Fee.
Just a few of the things that your clients are in right now. So we've got Supercell, Casualty, Granite Harbour. How would you describe, if you can, your, I guess, taste in actors?
You want talent, but it just... truthful, telling stories, like truthfully telling stories, but also having a good energy. But sometimes I like a rough diamond.
Do you guys ever use Spotlight's Talent Scout? And have you got any stories of people you have signed through this?
Did it with an amazing actor, and she came back, she said, oh, I'd love to meet you. She was like, oh, you're really interested in me? And I was like, yeah, and we met, saw material, and she's worked pretty consistently.
So there's 9 questions that we ask every agent here. If I see someone like me already on your list, should I still apply?
There's a great saying, shy kids don't get sweeties. If you don't ask, you don't get.
How can I work with my agent if I'm not getting auditions?
Sometimes it can be like your headshot is like 5 years old.
If you were a self-repped actor on this call right now, how would you get Keddy Scott Associates to sign you?
Is Belfast too far? Like, if I was in young Keddy Scott being like, do you fancy coming down? Here's a comp.
Ask and then kind of see, if it works out with like schedules and stuff.
Do you think I should wait until these are released to get a representation?
Get on it now, yeah, because you never know what's going to happen. You might have shot that film, it might not ever see the light of day.
What can I do to be the best possible client?
Just be a nice person.
Yeah.
And also, shy kids don't get sweeties, go out and get it. What's the worst that can happen? Someone says no, great, move on to the next thing.
Love it. It's good, isn't it? Honestly, I watched some of the mashups back and I'm like, freaking hell. These sessions are good. It's a 2.5 hour session, folks. It's in the members area right now over at actonthis.tv. If you're looking to get signed with a great agent like Keddy Scott, maybe just Keddy Scott is on your radar as an agent you want to sign with, that's an invaluable session, but equally it's invaluable for just approaching any decent agent in the industry. And I love what you said there. You said it twice in that trailer. Shy kids don't get sweets, right? You've got to go out there and ask for what it is you want. So few actors actually ask for what it is they want. They want to hide a little bit. Oh, I don't want to, put my head above the parapet too much. I don't really want to, be a nuisance. It's like, you're not. If you're a good actor, why do you think you're being a nuisance getting in touch with people who require your skills? Casting directors, agents, writers, producers, directors. You have to. The most successful members of Act On This.tv are consistently putting themselves out there, writing emails, sending new stuff off, whether that's show reels, they're getting new headshots done, they're just taping for the sake of taping because they want to show new material to people. So great session. Go get on it. I'll put some music on, Petch, and we'll do some. We'll do the Q&A. Let's get a bit of dance pop on.
I'll bring the
What do you
first
think about the dance
question up.
pop? Boom.
I love it.
Right. What have we got?
DJRG.
Nadarith, how you doing?
Nadarith, any tips, please, on sending your new show reel to a casting director that you've auditioned for previously, but not for several years? I want to avoid reminding them that I didn't get the job.
Great question, but I think we need a bit of a paradigm shift in your mindset here, because just because the fact you didn't get a job, I wouldn't shy away from reminding them that you've actually been seen by them before, because they must have seen something good in you initially to give you a tape or see you in the room. The fact that you didn't get the job, I mean, every casting director we've had on Act On This, I've done 954, 55 interviews over the last 14 years. It's about 40,000 hours of like chatting about this industry that we've done over the last decade and a half. There's not a single casting director who has been on the site and not said that so much of you not getting the job is completely out of your control. As Petch said before, Nadarith, you might just not have looked like, the family you were going to be playing opposite. I don't know if that was the case, if you were playing, a role that required, a mom and dad in the show, like brother, sister, etc. You might just have lost it because of the look. They might have changed the age at some point. They might have just had a different idea in their head of that character that didn't quite match up with you, but your acting ability was not in question. You might have done a cracking job. Peter Hunt, great casting director, head of Hollyoaks casting, said to us on a session recently, a lot of agents, do you remember, Petch? He said a lot of agents will phone sometimes, and it might be talking about another actor that Peter's seeing, but one of their other actors, at the agency has maybe auditioned for Peter recently, and they didn't think they did a good job. And they'll get their agent to say, oh, Peter, we might be ringing up to talk about David, whoever David is, but, Lee might have done an audition last week that he wasn't happy with. And they'll say, oh, Lee was really upset about the audition that he did. He just wanted to say sorry and he apologised for not being at his best. And Peter's like, oh, I thought he did really good. Actors overthink shit so much and just sabotage themselves. So one, Nadarith, I would be like, I don't think that you need to not remind them. I think you should be absolutely reminding them that they've seen you before. And for me, it's reaching out in a non-apologetic, very positive way. Like, hey, whoever you're reaching out to. Hey, Daniel, if you're reaching out to Daniel Edwards, for example, if that was who saw you. Not spoke to you in a while, just wanted to drop you through the latest cut of my reel. It includes new work on blah, 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 blah. Would be an absolute honour to, audition for you again. You saw me a couple of years ago for such a thing. No, it didn't go my way, but I had a great time. If you're casting anything suitable at the moment, would love to be seen, and then whatever it is for you, maybe it's just like, even if it's just one line, again, ask for what you want, what Paul said there. Ask for what you want. If you're after your first TV job, your second TV job, you're happy to take a couple of lines in a show as opposed to, a guest lead or whatever, say, would be absolutely, over the moon to audition for anything for you, even if it's just a couple of lines. So I'd be reminding them that they have seen you. Unless you went in the room and something catastrophic happened, like you really offended them, went violent, broke the camera, something like that. But yeah, look at...
Then they're going to remember you anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, to be honest, there's probably nothing you can do. Definitely. But yeah, we've got to reframe some of this stuff as like, you don't need to apologise for having an audition with someone and not getting the part, man. That's a fantastic... fantastic result anyway, that you were seen because, depending on what it was for, they might have only been seeing 10 people for that and they might have had 300-400 submissions. So it's a real result just getting seen. What would you say, Petch? We've all had auditions we haven't got.
I'd say like no one cares. And I know this sounds really negative, but it's really not. Like everyone's so obsessed with themselves and what they're doing. Like you said, you haven't auditioned for this casting director in several years, so chances are they've completely forgotten you. Like in the nicest way possible. Like I don't remember people that I've met several years ago. Do you know what I mean? So it's like now's a perfect time to reach out again and reintroduce yourself because if something bad did happen, they won't remember it. Go back in now and be like it's a second chance at a first impression kind of thing.
Yeah, and in an excited way. Hey, you know, I haven't you know, seen you in a couple of years. Got so much, you know, new stuff to catch you up on. I've done this, I've done that. I've just got my new show reel.
Nadir with the sport. Thanks, Ross and Petch. They're always eventually cut.
So what if? So you couldn't have got it. You couldn't have got it if you wanted to. Yeah, that was it. But the first job I ever went for in Emmerdale was one line as a copper. Remember, Petch? I've said it a few times. I think my line was, "Boss, I think you want to come have a look at this." And it got cut before we even filmed it. So I've had that happen to me as well. They gave me another job, actually, another role on the show as my first ever TV job after that. But yeah, that happens, and that wasn't my fault that it got cut. You know, it got cut before we'd even shot it. I was in Brassic. I did a great scene in Brassic with some of the leads in Brassic, the first season of that got cut. I got a call off the producer saying there was nothing he did wrong, unless he was just being nice. But ultimately, Joe Gilgan's better than you, Ross, and his ad-libs are better than your scene, mate. So we're going to include more of the ad-libs and just cut you. So I was fine with that. That's okay. They owe me another job. I think it's just gone again on it for season 7.
Yeah,
so
I really
I'll be messaging Danny Broccola, say you owe me a job. But yeah, it happens. Part of it. That's absolutely just part of the business. So yeah, be bold. Ask for what you want. Reach out again in a very positive, excited way. Like reintroduce yourself, and I think you'll get some results. So fingers crossed for you. But thanks for the question.
Got a few questions here on YouTube and X and stuff, but I'm going to go over to Instagram first.
Yep.
Robin Bauman.
Robin,
Hi. Do you do stuff for kids? I've got a son aged 11. He's done quite a few self-tapes, but not getting booked. Thank you.
Interesting. So really, Robin, the industry for for children under 16 and over 16, I mean, it's very, very similar in terms of the strategies that you need to use and implement to get seen by casting directors. The thing with, obviously, you'll know with under 16-year-olds, there's quite a lot more legislation to protect kids. So you'll need licensing off your local council, your local borough council, in order to get the kids out of school to work if it's in school time. They need chaperones to be looked after and that sort of stuff. But in terms of marketing yourself as an actor, it's exactly the same no matter what age you are. Ultimately, a strong, set headshots, 2 or 3 headshots, really authentically. Was it Robin's son or daughter? Does he say?
Robin's son.
Robin's son. So 2 or 3 headshots, really authentically showing, your son as himself. Not acting in the headshots or anything like that. Just his natural personality. A decent show reel that could literally just be one scene. Doesn't have to be 5 minutes or anything like that. Show reels really shouldn't be over 2 minutes and 20 seconds, to be honest with you. So you can have literally 1 or 2 scenes on there. They could be, if you don't have the resources to go and get something shot from scratch, they could just be good quality self tapes. And then it's a matter really of introducing your son. You could do it, for him on his behalf via email to the casting directors that are looking specifically for children. So a lot of the casting directors that cast the CBBC stuff, things like The Dumping Ground. I know Jordan Hogg, great director, he's just going on the 18th or 19th of August. He's just going to direct the new season of The Dumping Ground, which I think is a CITV show, CBBC kind of show, and people like Emma Stafford. Cast shows like that. It's knowing the casting directors that cast the kids. You will still find in primetime drama generally a couple of kids. So it's worth introducing your son to every casting director, sending good quality material, of his ability. And then it's a matter of just rinsing and repeating. You never know when something's going to come up. Local acting classes as well that you can maybe seek out where casting directors and agents will go to, to sort of like sit in and watch kids. You get that happening quite a lot. So doing a bit of research on that. And yeah, it's just sort of like, just keeping abreast of what's going on in the industry. If you can get an agent, if you can write to agents and your son can get an agent, that's great. That's going to, really help as well. But strategies are the same. We have a lot of parents joining Act On This.tv, and their kids don't necessarily watch our sessions, Robin, but the parents do in order to learn about the industry, to steer their kids' career themselves. Yeah. So, I wouldn't say that the sessions that we run every week are at all focused on the kids part of the industry. The strategies could be used in the kids part of the industry, but a lot of parents join. Like Ruben's parents join. His mum joins. Who was the girl who did Emmerdale? Ruby. Yeah, Ruby's mum. It works. It's like these strategies work. The parents learn them. They jump on these sessions. There's sometimes a little bit of swearing in them, so maybe you wouldn't want 11-year-old to watch. Not like terrible, but occasionally people drop an S or, I don't know, the odd F-bomb if it's people like Des Hamilton, BAFTA winning casting director, but Scottish, very much like my dad was. They like to drop an F-bomb in now and again. We do allow that as people to be their authentic selves. So, you could learn from those sessions and then you'd understand the industry more and then you could steer your son's career that way. But yeah, the strategies are universal.
Nice. So Nick Field,
All right,
I
Nick.
have severe email anxiety.
Right.
I have the ultimate contacts database, but it takes me a lot of strength to sit down and to try and write emails to agents and casting directors. Then when I do, I fret over every word. How can I overcome this?
There's loads of stuff here, and we can really help you with this. Did you do First TV Roll Fast Track, Nick? Let us know. So we do a program once a year called First TV Roll Fast Track, where we take 100 actors. We don't let any more than 100 in. Every year. We're just about to launch it actually this coming Saturday after the free training that we're doing on Saturday morning. And we have this whole module in that program on email. It's called Email Excellence. There's a lot of strategies just literally on how to write an email. What's called copywriting in terms of writing copy, not actually I don't mean like brand protection. I'm going to copyright that. Just actually how you can write compelling copy in an email. Ultimately, like one big piece of advice I give everybody when it comes to emails, to make them brief, because that's the thing. Brevity is key with emails that you're sending to busy people. We have a term where we say sell the click, not yourself in the email. You want to sell yourself a little bit in the email, but the most important thing you can put in that email is a link to your work. And you want to tell the casting director or the agent, whoever you're writing to, why they should click that link in particular. So, good example from me recently. I mentioned this a while ago, Petch. So, I get seen a lot for authority roles in TV. So, coppers, doctors, businessmen, people like that. I was like, I'm not getting seen for any of the more sort of like sensitive roles, anything that shows a bit of emotion. It's just very straight kind of authority stuff. And I was like, people haven't seen me in that guise before. Casting directors don't know me in that way. So I shot from scratch a showreel scene. It was really emotional. It was a breakup scene, basically. It wasn't over the top, wasn't crazy, but there was emotion, sensitivity, tenderness within that scene. And I thought that's a side that no casting director has ever really seen of me. And for them to see me in auditions for that, I'm going to have to show them I'm capable of that probably before they think of me as that. So I would send this scene out to casting directors, and me selling the click in that email was me saying something like, hey, hope everything's great. I haven't auditioned for you since wanted to reach out because I've just shot a new showreel scene. And my little sell the click thing, people would say it was clickbaity, but it worked, was I guarantee you haven't seen me in this light before, and I bet you can't guess the twist at the end. Now, instantly, I'm introducing intrigue. It's almost like a challenge going, you've never seen me like this before. It was a compelling reason for them to click that link. And the amount of replies that I got from cast directors going, wow, great job. Like, no, I hadn't thought of you like that, but now I will. It's learning, sort of like techniques to sell that click. So then you don't have to worry about every word you're writing, Nick, because you're not writing paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs.
So Nick has said he did do First TV or Fast Track 4 years ago when it first started, but he wants to do it again.
Right, Nick, you can, if you literally look in the First TV or Fast Track group today, I posted an upgrade link to the 2024 version in this program. The whole module, if you've not visited it in a while, I mean, you can revisit it. You could revisit the 2023 version, or I would recommend you just wait for the new version that we're going to launch this week. There's lots of new things that we're doing in that. We can show you emails that people have sent that have landed them auditions, that have literally landed them TV work. But yeah, learning how to write succinctly. And ultimately, giving value is the key. You want casting directors to look forward to receiving your emails. So if you can make them useful and solve a problem for them rather than giving them a problem, which is what most actors do, they just spew their guts out in an email, saying, I've wanted to be an actor all my life. I love this. Oh, I love the fact you cast that thing. I love this person's performance in this. And they don't get to what they actually want till like the 6th paragraph. And by that point, everyone's bored. They've not got time and nothing gets read or clicked. So it's about going, listen, what do I have to offer? What do I have to offer you, your office and your show right now that you might be casting, the kind of work that you're doing? Here's a highly relevant piece of material that's going to be useful for you if you watch it. And, keeping it brief. But yeah, you will get over the anxiety, Nick, by like exposure therapy, mate, in a way. Yeah. It's like the thing you're afraid of, the more you do it, the more it's not a problem. Imagine, I've got an eye condition, so I'm not allowed to drive, unfortunately. But I imagine, Petch, when you got in the car for the first time, your first driving lesson, you're probably shitting yourself, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I would be. I'd be lethal. I can't see very well at all. So, the DVLA
it's like
literally don't let me
death
drive.
Machine.
Yeah, well, I'll be like, wow, I walk into people every day, never mind in a car. But then imagine by lesson 10, when you've been exposed to that week after week, you've been out on the road, nothing tragic has happened, hopefully. You're like, okay, this is all right. Everything. God, the first time you get on an airplane, you think it's going to crash. The first time you kiss somebody, you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. And then, by the 10th time, it's all right.
My wife will say, I still don't.
Yeah, she'll be like, hang on. But yeah, you should learn that things aren't as scary as you're going through life. So yeah, the more you do it, and the strategies within First TV or Fast Track, Nick, you will know. Very clever software that we tell people about that will help you track your email success. Will let you see what's been opened, what's been clicked. You won't have to be there guessing. I think a lot of anxiety comes from, I'm just going to send this out into the ether, and I don't know if it's been opened. I don't know if that hard work I put into that self-tape has even been watched by the person I sent it to. The strategies in Fast Track. Like categorically whether they've seen that work that you've sent out or not. So that gets you over anxiety as well. But yeah, if you want to upgrade to the 2024 version, Nick, check the Facebook group out, mate. And you'll see a link there that's special just for you guys. You get 80% off the price of this new course. And anyone who's interested, if you don't know what First TV or Fast Track is, if you sign up for this free training we're doing on Saturday, we're going to show you the program at the end of that training. If you go to actonthis.tv/training, get a free place on that training. And at the end of it on Saturday morning, about 11:30, we're going to show you the full program. Still join the training if you're not bothered about the full program, because you're going to learn a ton in that 90 minutes anyway. We want to give as much value as possible. But if you do the full program, it'll change the game for you. I'll play some testimonials out at the very end of this session to show you the impact that's had on people's lives, because it's been pretty massive. So Nick, we're going to fix it.
So you've kind of answered this anyway, but I'll bring it up. I think this is Maxwell. Here's a question, Ross. You're looking for a new agent. You've been on the website. What are you writing in that email? Like some bullet points to each paragraph.
Boom. Yeah, this is cool. I love this. Right. Yeah, let's help you with this then. So hopefully you've done your research on the agents, Maxwell, Alan, the story can. We know the story can has many different names. But yeah, if you've done your research on the agent, hopefully that aligns with where you are at in your career right now. So I always recommend people do this. If you're looking for an agent and you want that relationship to work and lead to work quite quickly, then you want to align where you're at in your career with ultimately where the agent's at in their career. I said before, like in a very kind way, not all agents are equal. Some work at the very top of the game, some work in the middle of the game, some work at entry level. And as they get better as agents, they will move up the ranks like you will as an actor as well. So I like to reverse engineer. I'm like, what roles would I be seen for right now? What level? Maybe it's like, the guest role in one episode of Casualty. Well, let me watch Casualty. And on the credits, I'm going to find who had the guest role in that episode, see who their agent is. And then I'm going to write to that agent because they're likely to be able to get me work like that. So hopefully you've done that at that point, and you can use that ultimately kind of like, within your email as well. So for me, it would be like, hi, Petch, if Petch was an agent.
Hey,
Petch, oh, no, I couldn't do it. My name's Ross. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm a 42-year-old actor based in Manchester. And then I would put in like what I've been up to recently. Very briefly though, I've recently, just shot BBC Three's Wreck. Netflix's Fool Me Once, episode of Coronation Street, ITV's After the Flood. I'll soon be appearing in Netflix's Toxic Town. I mean, this is me if I was writing it for myself, so I've got a few credits and one still to come out. And I'm currently looking for a new rep. Been on the website, notice you represent who I saw in this episode of Casualty. This is exactly the kind of work that I want to do and where I'm at in my career right now. Wanted to drop through my recent show reel, my most recent show reel for you, and to have a look at. And it'd be an absolute pleasure, if we could, we can have a chat on Zoom, or if I could come in for a coffee and meet you if, you want to take it further. Thanks ever so much for your time. Keep up the great work. Have an amazing week. A little bit of flattery, but like literally as simple as that. It shows.
And if you don't have any work,
if you don't have any work,
a load of credits there, and some people that just don't have any work at the moment.
Yeah,
or
then we've got to throw a positive spin on it. Okay, so it depends if you're repped right now and you're looking for a new agent. It can be, I'm looking to move agents. I'm, just after a fresh pair of eyes on my work. I aspire, right now to be seen for shows like Casualty, Emmerdale, Hollyoaks. I'm looking for those first few day player roles. I noticed your client, Lee Petcher, on Casualty the other night, playing He did such a great job. This is the kind of work I would love to do. Here's my reel, that I think is aligned with this kind of work. It's just throwing a really positive spin. And you can always say something good about yourself anyway, even if it's no work at all. It could be acting classes that you're going to. It could be, a show that you're putting on yourself, something that you're writing, something that you've previously been in. I've recently just been working with, even if it's students for student film. I've recently just been working with the University of Salford with their third-year students, working on 2 short films. I'm so keen to get my first TV role. It's just always positive, as opposed to apologetic. Hi, I'm really sorry I haven't done anything right now. I'm finding everything really hard right now. I'm looking for someone to help me because I just struggle so much. Agents want a business partner that's a go-getter, that's going to look at, what they can do rather than what they think they can't. For me, if someone wanted to work for me or wanted to work with me, it's just like, look, what can you bring to the table? And it doesn't have to be a wealth of experience and money and all this sort of stuff. It's really a can-do attitude and a willingness to improve. That's it. Yeah, literally, that's what Petch came with. Petch came to work with me. 2017 was the first time he started doing some work with me. And literally, I don't even think you knew really how to use a computer. I made him buy a laptop that he put on a credit card.
I knew how to use a computer.
Not a Mac, though. You never had a Mac.
No,
it's
everything
different.
was Windows back then.
That's it, yeah. So that's what I mean. It's different. You couldn't even use learn how to use a Mac. Now you're a beast. You can edit everything. No one's sort of like, you've not been on a university course. You've just learned through doing.
Yeah.
But that was just a can-do attitude. I'd rather bet on the jockey than the horse. It's sort of like, it's the jockey that wins the races. The horse can be fast, but if you've got someone in the saddle who's shit, that horse is not going to win the race, So for me, it's like,
you didn't bet on horse racing at all, Ross, being a vegan. But,
I don't bet on horse racing because I always lose. But yeah, for me, it's like I can see a spark in an actor who's got no experience, just like their attitude is so good. We've got a member of our community, Josh Chadwick, I always think is stand out with his attitude. He's always, even when he's not had a good result from an audition, he's always been so grateful. Josh Allcroft as well. Yeah. Sun just shines out of that guy's face. You can't help but be happy when you're near him because he's so grateful all day, every day for any opportunities that he gets. And then when they don't go his way, he's not like, oh, woe me. He's like, I'm so happy. I'm moving my career forward. I just got seen for this thing. It didn't go my way, but wow, I'm being seen. And people want to be around those kind of people. So yeah, it's not labouring the points too much, Maxwell. It's just going, look, in the first couple of paragraphs, here's why I'm writing to you. Here's the clients that I've seen on your list that I really like, and I've seen their work, and this is the kind of work that I want to do. Here's my reel and what I have to offer, and I would love to even just have 10 minutes with you on Zoom if that would be possible. Even if it's just for some advice, if you're not in a position to sign me, because then they might come on thinking, oh, there's no pressure. I'll give you 10 minutes on Zoom, Maxwell, no problem, because I've not even said I'm going to sign you. This isn't an agent meeting. But then by the end of that 10 minutes, you've won them over so much with your personality that they're like, oh, actually, yeah, I will have a look into you a bit more. That can be useful. I know people that have signed with people like that because they've jumped on the Zoom call with no pressure that was even an agent meeting. They were just after 10 minutes of help. And by the end of it, they're going, oh, yeah, I really like you. Our personalities match, so maybe I'd want to work with you.
So this isn't Act On This Answers, Ross. We've got 20 minutes and we've got quite a few questions to get through. So
okay, I'll be brief.
Be brief,
I'll be dead. Yeah.
But be succinct more than brief.
I'll be succinct.
Cool. So we've got Lainey Wad, and she's got 2 questions, but they both relate to each other.
Cool.
First one. Hi, I'm really good at accents. My natural accent is real Brummie.
Nice.
Is it worth putting an accent reel on Spotlight? Yeah. And if so, what would be the best way of presenting a range of accents? And would it have to be studio quality, or would a fairly decent home recorder do?
Right, great question, and the answer is yes. Okay, so we did a session. It's in the members area right now. I'll just bring it up dead quick. I'm going to be succinct on this one, Petch, as succinct as I can. So if you are a member of actonthis.tv, go into the members area. I'm just going to bring it up now, and I'm going to show you. Let me just log in. Dead quick. Watch how fast I'm going to be. Submit. Let me log in with my. Oh, I've logged in with the wrong account. Hang on. I was going to be so quick. Ross. Hang on. Oh, I've got. Yeah, hang on.
Now.
Here we go. No, why has it done that? Where's my? Why have I logged in as that then? That's. Hang on. Let me log out. Here we go. This is definitely going to work. This should definitely work now. Yes. Right. So, in the members area, there is a session down at the bottom of the members area. These are all the sessions you get access to if you join. You get instant access to 140 of the best names in the industry showing you how to have a great career. This session here is called Profiting from Your Spotlight Profile and Earning Your Fees Back Fast with Spotlight Success Manager Mel Brown. This is the biggest deep dive into pimping out your Spotlight profile that I think Spotlight have ever done, okay? And within here, we walk through this exact thing, okay? We show you how to fill out every single part of your profile. There are on your, in your media section, there are areas you can add audio to. So what I would do is, if it's for accents, what I like to do is have a little mashup. You could record this on your phone, okay? If you get under a duvet, so all your reflections audio wise are like, it's not echoey or anything like that, and you use the voice recorder on your phone, and you've got some basic editing skills, because obviously you want to make sure they're clean. You're not like having rustling around as you're getting ready, or any paper as you're reading from it or anything like that. You would want to record. I don't know, maybe the 5 accents you think you're really highly skilled and you're highly proficient in. And then from those 5 reads, create a little mashup that's just a minute of maybe 12 seconds of each one. Doesn't have to be like long stuff. That's just the mashup of your accent reel in general. Then, because you might be recording, say, like 30-second clips. That's all you need, 30-second clips of each 5 accents. Create a mashup reel that's a minute long of all 5, and then upload separately to your Spotlight the full 30-second clip separately and label it really specifically. Geordie accent, Scottish accent, Irish accent, RP, Cockney, whatever it is. And it just means any casting director that's going on your Spotlight can go directly to the accent that they want, okay? They can listen to all your accents. Say it's someone's doing an animation and they need people who can do multiple accents for different characters. They can click on that. But a lot of casting directors will just go, well, this part's Cockney. I just want to hear what your Cockney accent's like. This part's Liverpudlian. I just want to hear what your Scouse accent's like. So make it very, very easy for them to find. If you want to record them with better quality, if you go to actonthis.tv/voiceover, you can download the voiceover kit list that I use. I have a little home studio in my wardrobe. actonthis.tv/voiceover. You can go and get that. And then there's also a session if you really want to, dive into voiceover as a career. I brought my voiceover agents on a few weeks ago. These guys have changed my life. If you go down to the section with agents, launching a voiceover career that lasts with top voiceover agency, the voiceover gallery, watch that there. So it's all about creating voice reels, getting an agent, the work you can do. These guys have earned me, I don't know, probably 45 grand this year, something like that, already in voiceover work. It's a big industry, the voiceover industry. So yes, your phone is good. Voiceover kit list, if you go to actonthis.tv/voiceover, get on your Spotlight. Not that succinct, Petch, but I'm trying.
You're getting there. Well, this question gets asked quite a lot, so we'll be able to help Jennifer with this.
Okay.
Jennifer Bull. Well, I'm an absolute beginner at 52. I keep telling myself that I'm too old, but there's something inside me that just wants to go for it. I've just finished 3 years as a regular supporting artist on a great ITV crime drama.
Yep.
I love the buzz as an essay, and I really want to go and learn acting, but am I too old for college, drama school? Ooh,
Nope.
Where to start?
Right. I'm just going to end up bringing up Act On This features, but again, this is why this site's so freaking useful, is because any question you've got, I know there's a session here that can answer it. So, Jen, I don't know if I recognise your name. I don't know if you are a member or you have been a member. But if you go into the members area and look for a feature with actors, I'm just going to have to go through. I'm going to find Michelle Jerram's feature because this will inspire the hell out of you. So Michelle Jerram is a member of Act On This. She joined us around about 49, 50 years old. Here it is, this one. You're only one audition away with BBC Granite Harbour actress Michelle Jerram. So Michelle was in the police. She was medically discharged because she arrested some scumbag, I think, and he hurt her. So she got hurt and thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to actually pursue the career I wanted to do all along, and that's act. Came and joined Act On This.tv, got laser focused. Every session she would turn up, she'd have a notebook out, she'd know what questions she wanted to ask, and she would go away and act on the advice every casting director and agent was giving her. That's why it's called Act On This. In this session here, we reverse engineer Michelle's entire story. Michelle walks us through ultimately exactly what she did to land a leading role in Granite Harbour. She's now 3 seasons in, I think, or even 4 seasons in, I think, to Granite Harbour, maybe 3. As a leading role in a BBC drama. She did it in 2 years, basically. She joined the site, she got into the industry, learned everything, implemented everything, and then started writing to casting directors, got a show reel together, and now stars in Granite Harbour as DS Monty Montrose, a lead character within the show. She got that part in her early 50s, like 50, 51 or something like that. There's countless other people I can give you examples of who have come into the industry later, much later than that.
Jennifer, I'm late 50s, started doing part-time training in my 40s, had a lovely role in 3 Little Birds.
Yes, so we just had Aisha Bywaters on. There's a session with her in the members area. The casting director for Three Little Birds, Sir Lenny Henry's Three Little Birds. And yeah, we had Caitlin Sinclair, one of our members, a younger member, but she got a role in Three Little Birds as well. And we walked through the audition process with her and Aisha. Aisha won a BAFTA for casting Three Little Birds. And there's no age limit. That's the beautiful thing about this industry. There's no expiry. We can do it at all ages. If you've got the energy still, you've got the ambition, the drive, the tenacity, and the robustness as well. Yes, you're going to get rejection. Of course you are. Part and parcel of it. But every step forward, every no is a step closer to that yes that you're going to receive. So, Jen, yeah, if you're not a member, join. If you are a member, get stuck into that feature with Michelle just for some inspiration. And then, yeah, acting classes, local acting classes, TV classes. Don't know where you are in the country, but, if you're in the north particularly, Acts for TV, Act 4 TV, I recommend them highly. ActUpNorth.com, recommend them highly. Great acting classes up here. There's lots down south as well. But, yeah, just getting stuck in, and that's going to help you believe more in your potential by just doing and getting out there.
10 minutes left, 4 questions. Can we do it?
We can do it easy. 2.5 minutes a question.
Brilliant. Over on Instagram, Gracie Kelly. I have an audition next week, and it's been over a year since I've had a meeting in person.
Wow.
Any tips on how to control my nerves and not to self-sabotage? I still sometimes struggle with confidence.
Yeah. I've been in this situation. So, I've been in the room a lot more now. But I remember the first time I got in the room for an audition after we'd all been locked down for ages, Gracie, and it is nerve-wracking. It's also quite exciting though, because it's the first time you'll be doing an audition in a long time where you can actually get immediate feedback and direction. And that's nice. You don't get that on a tape. Yes, I know on a tape, you get to go again and again and again and no one sees you muck up. But, you can sometimes overthink it and it just becomes, we've done takes, haven't we, Petch, where like tapes where I've done 25 takes and I'm like, I'd never get this in the room, and now I'm so confused and I have to go to bed and choose a take in the morning. I don't do that now, but that's the trap you get into when it comes to self-tape. So
you've done it where we've done it and then I've gone home and you've gone back and redone it.
Yeah, I've done that as well. As I was uploading my self-tape, I've watched it and gone, oh, I just thought of another way I could do that. And then I've gone back into the studio and filmed it again when Petch has gone home. It can be horrible. There's a good advantage of going into the room and only getting 2 or 3 takes at it. Okay, so one, your preparation's got to be good. That's the biggest thing that's going to stop you being overwhelmed, is having hard, bloody evidence that you have done your prep. Okay, that's the thing that will really back you up. If you go in there and that little voice in your head is going, Gracie, you should have learnt your lines more. You haven't really put any effort into this. You just stayed in bed an hour this morning when you could have got up and really nailed them. That's going to screw you up. If you know you've put the work in, then that's really going to sort of bolster you and back you up, okay?
And those 2 sessions with David Crowley that we mentioned at the beginning of this, brilliant.
Yeah, David Crowley, if you go in the members area, get on Act On This and watch those prepping for your audition sessions, how to nail your audition prep, part 1 and part 2. It's 4 hours of really good advice in there. But for me, yeah, prep is key. Learning your lines out loud, okay? So that's a massive thing. A lot of people learn the lines in their head. They practice in their room on their own, and then they go into the audition, and when they hear the words out of someone else's mouth for the first time, it throws them because they're not used to it. They just learnt it in their head, and they're picturing like where their lines are on the page that they've highlighted, as opposed to doing other things while you're saying your lines out loud. So line learner is great. If you can get someone to run the lines with you a few times in real life, that's great as well. The other things to sort of remember, set your intention before you go into the room of what it is you want. So my intention of going into the room before I go into any situation, not just auditions actually, is always, might sound cliched now, I've said it so many times, Petch, you'll know it, but my intention is to leave people in that room better than I found them. So go in with a can-do attitude, positive, upbeat, and I'm going to charge people up. Not in a cheesy, over-the-top way, but I'm not going to go in and drag any of my real-life shit into that room if things haven't gone well that morning, if I couldn't get a parking space. Not that I drive, so it wouldn't happen, but if my train was late, if I'd had an argument with someone, anything like that, leaving that at the door. And my intention, I'm going to say it out loud as I go into the room, like literally to myself. I'm going to be like, look, my intention here is, remember, you're going to leave people better than you found them. If you don't set your intention will set itself. And for a lot of people, the thing going through their head as they walk in the room is, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines. And then they just forget the lines because they're focusing on that. My intention is to leave people better than you found them. You've done the prep. You know you can do this. Okay, enjoy this. You should enjoy this. Is the job that you've chosen. And for me, it's realizing as well, and I say this a lot, but like everything I need is within me now. I just need the courage to see it through. Everything I need is within me now, and I have the courage to see it through. That's something that, again, like it might sound woo-woo and bonkers, but that's something that I'm literally saying as I'm walking up the stairs, just to reassure myself. Have the script in hand. Don't try and show off by going, I know the line so much, I'm going to leave the script outside, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's fine to have the script on your knee. Make sure that you're not using it as a crutch to look at when you actually know the lines, but have it there just in case you blank. It's fine to look down and grab a line. And if you want to do another take, last thing, if you do it and you've got a better take in you, tell them. Say, listen, is there any chance I could just do one more? I know I've got one more in me, and I can do my, and then you're going to leave feeling you've done yourself justice, and then it's in the lap of the gods. Done in it, Petch.
Done. 5 minutes, 3 to go.
Okay.
Stephanie Hoopman, RE
Steph.
agent emails.
Yep.
If your best credit isn't the most recent one, should you just say the better credit, i.e. I've had a TV credit, but most recently was a short film? Which do I say? Or is it both?
Both. It's absolutely both. So it's, if you're reaching out to agents, again, it's like, my recent work, just say recent. I don't care if it's 2 years old. My recent work includes, ITV's After the Flood, BBC's Wreck, and I've recently just been, well, you don't use the word recent twice. So my recent work includes ITV, After the Flood, BBC's Wreck, and last week, or whenever it was, or last month, or in March this year, I shot this short film. If it's out, you could say, that it's done really well on the festival circuit or whatever, or if it's not out, that get releases later this year. It's just nice, hard evidence that you are working off your own volition, whether you've got an agent right now or not. But yeah, both, definitely. Never apologise if something's a bit old. It's fine.
Speaking of films, Alice.
Alice.
How do you get over the fear of being seen? Like caring what people think and worrying that they will judge your acting. I shot a feature and I get nervous for when it comes out.
Yeah, well, one, that's natural. Everybody does. Every time something comes out on TV, I almost don't want to watch it the night that it's out. I'll wait. Sometimes I get texts on my phone, go, oh, I just saw you in this, mate, and that was great. I get like that as well. I like to watch it on my own, like late at night when no one around, just to check my performance. And, generally, the editor makes you look great because that's the editor's job. No one puts anything out on TV that's shocking, and hopefully you won't, you're good enough that you will have done a solid job no matter what. So we all get hung up a little bit on whether we were perfect or not. No one is ever perfect. There'll always be things within your performance you can pick apart. That's a given. I've never seen myself back on TV and gone, I'm perfect in that. Couldn't have done anything better. Even if it's just out of my continuity. Oh, I wasn't holding the clipboard quite like I was in the previous shot in that second take. The audience don't notice, but it's things that we pick out ourselves. So don't worry about it for a start. That's something that everybody has. And it's really, in terms of like getting out, not worrying about what other people think. It's realizing that not everybody. What you said before, Petch, is realizing that in the most loving way, no one really cares. Like, if they watch that short film, and again, I mean this really positively, and I mean this with all my work as well, 5 minutes later, they're on their phone, they're on Instagram, they've forgotten all about it. They're not bothered. Yeah. People are so hung up on what other people are thinking of them, they don't spend much time thinking about you. It's ironic because we all think everyone's spending so much time looking at us. You post a post on social media and you think, everyone's going to see it. Chances are 5% of your following are going to see it with the way algorithms work. It's just being proud that your hat's in the arena, you're throwing your hat in the ring. It's easy to sit in the stands, so to speak, and boo from the stands, Alice. It's really easy to sit in the stands at a football match and call everyone on the pitch rubbish at football. What are you doing? You sat in the stands. How about you get up and go and play on the pitch? Let's see how good you are. So good on you for getting out there and doing stuff. And you just got to kind of like just ignore the haters, Petch, yeah? How many do we get? Totally. Be nice to them as well. People might leave a comment on this video going, he's a brash dickhead, because they don't know me. They've got no context of me at all.
That's my comment.
Yeah. And how many times do we get comments that aren't very nice? And then I'll reply really nicely. And by the end of that conversation, Alice, they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I was having a bad day. So anyone who does leave something bad, they're just going through something, and be kind to them, because to be in their head where they're capable of leaving a negative comment, it's not a nice place to live, is it? So just be, we always need to have more kindness for the people who are horrible than the people who aren't, because, if you're having a good day, you're not leaving a negative comment on someone's post, are you? You're getting on with your life.
I just find it very paradoxical, and, like you said there, Ross, we all have it, is we're actors, our job is to be seen.
People. Yeah, you want million. You're on a Netflix show, you can have 270 million people literally watching an episode. Like, that's what you want. Don't be worried about the 5 people who are seeing you on YouTube.
Even like theatre, you've got thousands of people watching you, hundreds of people watching you. You can't be an actor and not be seen.
Yeah, It's an intrinsic thing. I get it. I hear a lot of actors, and sometimes a lot of successful actors say, "I never watch myself. They're in a Hollywood film. I don't go watch it. I don't like seeing myself."
That's it. I think the difference there is you watching yourself and caring what other people think. Like, I don't like watching myself, but I've got BDD, which is body dysmorphic disorder, which means I can't look at myself on screen without thinking like I look grotesque. Can't look at myself in a reflection or anything. So that's why I don't watch myself back. But it's I don't mind what other people think.
Yeah, I'm not bothered what else. It's more like what I think. Well, we won't. You don't Petch for a start, but yeah, we won't make you watch yourself. But yeah, it is just something that we've all got our little things, haven't we? But yeah, Alice, like, good on you for just doing stuff. It's more than 98% of people do this. Easy to sit there, like I say, and slag everyone else off. It's very difficult to get out there and actually throw your hat in the ring. So,
and again, I think it's what you were saying before too. I think it was Nick, where you just got to keep doing it. The more you do it, the more used to it you'll become.
Yep. Yeah, defo. Right, couple more.
Last one.
Oh, it's just turned 5 o'clock as well. We can do it though. We can do it.
Nadirith, linked to Laney's question, do you have any advice on learning or refreshing accents quickly for auditions?
Yeah, a few different ways you can do it. So there are some apps out there, Nadirith, that you can use. Google something called the Accent Kit, which is quite a cool app. When I had to do a Cockney accent, I did a show with Peter Kay called Cradle to Grave, and we needed impeccable Cockney accents, apparently. And all I could do back then was like, talk like, all right, bruv. Yeah, I like Phil Mitchell EastEnders. And I thought I better get a bit better at Cockney. So, I used an app called the Accent Kit. I'm sure it's still going. That's pretty good. The other thing that people do that's free is YouTube videos. There's so many people out there that teach people accents on YouTube, and they're native. So sometimes just have a look. If it's a Cockney accent, Google it.
Yeah, I've got a different take on this. It was an accent coach that told me this idea. It's like, when you go on YouTube, people can teach you, and if they're native, then that's fine. But sometimes it's hard to find the true natives. What you should do is Google news reports or news interviews in the area of the place that you're looking, because they will interview people with the actual accent. So they're not trying to teach you this. It's just their natural accent, so you can hear it like from the natives.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, if you really want to, and just like, I guess it's just parrot fashion kind of repeating stuff. I mean, there's stuff like the Accent Kit will go into more detail when it comes to literally how to shape your mouth, where to put your tongue. It's a bit more technical like that. But if you've not got, the resources to, I think you might have to subscribe to that app. It's not. I don't remember it being expensive when I did it, but if you don't want to do that, that's a good idea. Local news reports, and just listen to it.
A brilliant accent coach as well, if you are, if you do have the resources, is Natalie Grady. Sorry, yeah.
Natalie Gavin's a great actress.
A brilliant actress, yeah. But do you want to bring up her website quickly, Ross? Because
I can give you I don't know a website, but I can give you a Twitter.
NatalieGrady.com, I think it is.
Oh, is it? Because I know if you go to, it's at Nat Grady. It's her social media handles. But yeah, Natalie's very good. She's like a onset accent coach for dialect coach.
Yeah.
For quite a lot of big shows.
I think it might have been Nat that actually gave me that advice as well, to go to local news stations and stuff.
It says NatalieGrady.com is parked, courtesy of GoDaddy.com. So I don't know if it must be NatGrady.com then.
NatGrady.com then, potentially. Oh, Stephanie's put, you've got a lovely face, Petch. Thank you, Steph.
There you go, Petch. He's just loving the compliments, isn't he?
I don't believe him.
I'm just not. I can't be bothered about the website. I'm going to x.com. I'm just going to show you Nat's. Yeah. So go to X, search for Nat Grady, all one word. Natalie Grady, actor, dialect coach, so her website now is voicecoach.tv.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, must have changed if she did have that, if she had NatalieGrady.com previously. But yeah, Nat's good. She'll do Zoom sessions, and like back in the day, I remember when it's like Skype, I think. Nat's been around a long time. So working in the industry on accents. So yeah, that's cool as well. Hopefully that helps.
And that's it for the questions.
Boom. We have finished just in time. So as a little recap, though, before we go, this Saturday, 3rd of August, make sure you are joining us for this training. Anyone looking for their first TV role, get to actonthis.tv/first. Going to walk you through a blueprint of how I literally landed my first 15 TV roles. I still use these strategies today, now nearly 40 roles in. Petch has used them to land 2 TV roles. He's got 2 self-tapes that we're doing today. Like these work. In fact, why not? I'm gonna finish today slightly differently. I'm going to finish by playing out a testimonial for the full program. So we're doing a free training on Saturday, actonthis.tv/training. We're going to give you loads of free advice on that. But then at the end of that training, we're going to open up the doors to our flagship program, First TV Role Fast Track. This is a live program that we're doing this year. We're teaching it across the weekend of the 14th and 15th of September. Then you're going to get 12 months coaching with us. Dozens of hours of pre-recorded video, live Q&A calls, like hundreds of pounds worth of resources. It's a massive program. We're going to talk to you all about it on Saturday. But what I will do is I'll play out a video now of people who have been through the program and the TV jobs that they have got. One thing that we pride ourselves on is like hard evidence that what we coach works. A lot of companies out there will just put a picture of someone's face and next to it write something generic like, "This is the best. I did this and got an agent." They won't tell you which agent they got. They won't tell you if it's a decent agent. You don't even know if it's real or not. I got a lead role the next day. Yeah, mate, in amateur theatre. It's not necessarily what the jobs that people want. Not there's anything wrong with amateur theatre, but like a lot of people in this industry masquerade. This is bullshit. Is basically what we like to do is give you hard evidence. So I'm going to show you some testimonials of people who went through this program with us last year, the TV roles that they have now got. And like I say, we'll open the doors up for this program on Saturday morning, just after the free training. About 11:30 we'll be doing this. The free training starts at 10 a.m. You can also go to actonthis.tv/first to get on the waiting list for the full program. So we'll end on this page. Anything else to say before we go, mate?
No, just have a cracking rest of your day. And I hope to see you on Saturday.
Nice. actonthis.tv/training. Go get your place. I'll turn this music off. Petch is going to go and get his self-tape done. I'll take the graphics off the screen. So this has impact. You'll buzz off this, though. This is good. These people you'll hear came to the program, in their own words, some of them completely clueless, lost in the wilderness. And here's the things that they achieved through this program. So nice one, Petch. I'll take us off, mate. We'll play this video out and we'll end on this. But love to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. We're going to try and go live a lot more on YouTube now and on these other platforms, Instagram, etc. Throughout the next few weeks. So do subscribe and we'll catch up with you soon. Until next time, you know what time it is, Petch? 3, 2, 1.
Bye
for now. I think that might have been in sync. Right, I'm going to play this video. See you in a bit, folks.
I'd been bounced around for around about 10 years and just struggled to find that first TV credit, which just seemed ever elusive.
I came to the acting party quite late, so I was quite naive, didn't know anything about anything really.
I was doing loads of workshops in person and online, and I just wasn't getting auditions, self-tapes.
I hadn't had a single casting in 24 years for TV.
I wasn't getting any castings. I didn't understand why.
Done theatre all my career, so I was a bit clueless.
I was scared of the industry. I didn't know where to start.
I was just thinking, how the hell am I going to get my first TV job?
I've just shot for The Bay for ITV. I'm playing the role of Chips opposite Andrew Dowbiggin. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to shoot Go Ed for ITVX. It's a new comedy set in Liverpool. I'm playing the role of Jensen.
The most obvious and biggest result that I've got is getting a part in Emmerdale. So I auditioned for 3 different roles and ended up getting the biggest one, which was a social worker, Beth White. Even kicked off the episode.
I've landed 2 roles on BBC Doctors. I've filmed opposite Joanna Lumley and Michelle Keegan on Netflix's Fool Me Once.
It led to my first TV role on Coronation Street, which was really great experience, being on the cobbles, seeing the set on an episode or series I'd watched for many years.
I landed my first TV role. It was 2 episodes of Emmerdale, playing against Jay Sharma, played by Chris Bisson.
I was able to land 2 TV jobs, one with Ramesh Ranganathan and Catherine Ryan over in Jersey, filming Romantic Getaway. And then the second job was a nice little ident for ITV1, which makes me officially on your TV twice a day, every single day, for the next 5 years.
I've had a first TV role. That's then led to further TV roles. And and a film job.
I've had my first TV job on Emmerdale, which was great. So I was there for a day, and at the end of the day, they asked me to go back for another day.
I got my first TV role, as a paramedic called Wendy Case in BBC Doctors. I had 56 lines, check me. I was there for 2 days filming, and it was brilliant.
I got my first job in Emmerdale. It was such an amazing experience. Like seeing the set, it was so much bigger than you think it would be. It was amazing. Everyone was really nice, and it was just good to finally be on set. And everything that I worked towards, it finally paid off.
The amount you're spending on this, you can potentially make back with one TV role.
You have to invest in yourself as a business.
I now realise, well, I've more than doubled my money. So it's a great investment.
Stop procrastinating like I did for many months, many years, and just do it, give it a go.
I recouped all the money, plus more, from that one job on Emmerdale.
If you felt ignored or have felt ignored like I have for 10 years or so, then take the plunge, do something different.
I've probably made more than 10 times what the programme cost me originally.
I got the money back instantly just by doing one little role in a TV show. So, I mean, I can't complain, really.
You just sitting watching everybody else move past you? Are you serious about your career? Because if you are, you better jump off that fence and start running and get your first TV role.